a stretch of work, applying his body, working off the night's booze, sweating it off as he charges around, making light work of the labouring he's long accustomed to, shouting, joking and bantering during fleeting moments. Notices the tent workers' heads down, cracking on, sullen. He's half driven by the changes made to his working environment. Blood bubbles from the seats of his soul, internally tampering with his better self. His permanent position pays better than most, but with inflation, he's paid barely half of what his forebears earned decades earlier, and all for the same job. The corporate takeovers, the economic migrants, the students, the techs, with his hamstrings, jabbing invisible fingers, muttering "fuck off" on his reddening forehead. That's what his peers know pisses him off. That's why he's one of them, a trumpet player for workers' rights, a minstrel for the songs of the embittered. But he knows, deep down, that is not it. He knows he's broken. He's drinking, his bouts of violence, his loss, his family, his inability to sustain the biscuit box family visage, his pain of actually losing them, chipping at him, flashes of guilt, chips away at what is left of his youth, the last strands of innocence, dissipating forever. He knows he has to change soon. He knows he has to seek atonement. Doesn't realise just yet the kind of danger his soul is really in. And as he throws himself into work, snippets of rage surge through him. Caffeine doing its thing, as he, without even realising, aids and strengthens the bullying of his equals and peers. They, over months and years, seemingly befriend the newbies, the vulnerable, the tips, the students, the stupid, the lonely, the nerds, and lays them all out through games and gossip, making it clear in the end they are not one of them, accepting but alienating, their eyes welcoming but black in heart, befriending but murderous, casting feelings of homely acceptance but waiting to expound on a whim. Ultimately pushing most of them away, isolating and empowering themselves, gleefully pouncing on the younger ones, manipulating them easily, before they get the picture and scamper off, eyes watering the older and wiser strangers, keeping a respectful distance as they too, doing their time, run off to better jobs, feeling like they just have survived prison. The man knows this deep down, but does what's expected of him. He's local, he's good, he's justified, he's giving to the community. And as he piles outside to lunch through the town centre with his praying, screeching compatriots, he stands his narrowed eyes at the quiet ones and sees them huddled together as they amble ahead of them. engaged in mellow talks and smiles, looking normal and civilized. He and his mates looking every bit like a force, untouchable and dangerous, smug, empowered. He catches the eyes of one of the office workers, waiting in line for a coffee. She seems a bit frumpy, but pretty. One of the Rotor and Rage parts. Finished really. Grumpy cunt. She flashes an automatic office smile when she clocks him looking at her, and what looks like coyness isn't. Quickly lowers her gaze and checks her phone. Oh man, meant no harm, but knows she feels threatened. She isn't like a local girl that knows him and his mates. Suddenly feels low. And suddenly feels he needs a sign of warmth from her. And pushes with expert ease the shame of this as he realigns his focus on his buddies as they, waving a ranking hand at a juggy beggar, inciting hilarity, as they think clear when the man stands indignant shouting at them. It was funny, and he did laugh, but then he caught a quick glimpse of the girl, passing a pasty and orange drink to the pinhead as it gushed wet thanks at her, chilling somewhat. He looked back again as his mates roll onwards and sees the alky fuck looking at him. Eyes meeting. And he felt, not for the first time, his insides twisting up a tad. That maybe he has got it all fucking wrong. All said, it's Friday. His conditioning kicks in, overriding his true self, and he starts to hanker for a beer and action. Just a few more hours now. The momentum of the day speeds up. All return to work now. Our man's brain is in auto now. And soon the minutes fly into hours. And all pile out. Soul searching, eager for home. The man gets a lift with his buddies. Waiting at the gates, wearing hyperactive, all laughing at the other workers, ripping the piss, mockingly waving like tracks. A couple of single figures walking solitary with their headphones on. He hops out of the car, into his flat, jumps fully into his space, and gets ready to pop to the park. Tis a Friday now, and this cunt wants to get pissed. Smashed! Come on! Fuck off! Let's go! Let's go! Fuck off! Sniff out the pies! Look at the tits! Look at the tits! Sniff out the pies! Come on! Come on the piss! Come on you fucking cunts! Let's go! Let's go! Fucking cunts! Come on! Out of the piss! Fucking trap you! We're the boys! We're the boys! We'll fuck you up! Fuck off! Yeah, fuck off! Punch your fucking lights out! track you, yeah? They'll fucking track you. And your fucking head in. And as he gives himself up some, a little voice pipes up in his head. Don't. This really isn't you. He pauses for a second. But several alerts then pop up on his phone. Funny, laddish memes and such from his mates. And off he goes. Again. His soul line, a mere tincture at this point.